So Connor, working at the weekend, you're obviously down by the touchline. How did you see it?
Obviously conditions were tough. You can see that played a part in the first 5 minutes, I'd say, where they slightly edged it. I think once that passed, that was a procession really. It was a pretty comfortable game from that point onwards. Don't think they threatened us outside of the first 5 minutes once we got to grips with the conditions, and obviously playing a little bit more off Nicky to beat their press. But I thought lads were excellent. It probably should have been 4, 5, 6 in the second half. But 2-0, can't complain. Obviously getting 3 points this division is always tough, so important win.
The gaffer was obviously sat up in the stand. What was the system like? How did it work with you to communicate down to the players?
He was just on the phone to Kirk pretty much throughout, so any little snippets that he wanted to get across, he really had as a Kirk. Obviously I was watching it more in terms of in the moment on the touchline, so I'm just seeing whatever I saw at the time also. So it worked fine. Listen, the lads know the detail anyway. We coach it so much into them that a lot of it is pretty standard to the lads anyway. So there's always little bits that we can work on in terms of the conditions, second half especially, and keeping our back line high because the wind was obviously keeping it in their half. So just getting the lads to trust our information, obviously be brave with the line. So there was little snippets, but in terms of the performance, I thought, especially second half, which once we had the wind, we were pretty much penned in their half the whole game.
Yeovil, obviously tomorrow night at Hewish Park. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
No, a tough game. Every away game is tough at this level. Every game is gone really well. Obviously, had a tough game on the weekend. We're getting such an early red card, which makes it incredibly tough. I mean, obviously playing against York is tough anyway. When you're going to 10 men in the first 10 minutes, it makes it a long afternoon. So that proved to be the case. So but tough game, good side. They were in the playoffs, I believe, going into the game Saturday. They play good football, play a similar system to ourselves, and got some really exciting young players and some good experienced lads as well. So another tough test. And always travelling a little bit further afoot on an even game always makes it tricky. So we'll keep our guard up. We'll go and try and implement our philosophy and how we play, and please God we can get 3 points.
We're seeing a lot of players return from injury round about now. What's it like trying to fit everyone into the same system, or and how does that sort of work heading into a game?
Listen, we say to the lads from minute one of pre-season to when the last game comes, everyone's going to be needed, and I think that's proven to be the case. We're obviously positive. Once you get bodies back, it's nice to always have a bigger pool of players to select from, and it gives us headaches, but that's what you want as a management team. You want them tough decisions in terms of selection, and it's nice to have them options. I think it's showed in terms of the quality of the bench we've had in the last 2 or 3 games and the difference it's made. It shows where the squad's at, and please God it can stay that way for a long period now, and we can have a little bit of consistency with selection and bodies involved. So it'll be nice if that can be the case. It's not always as simple as that in football, as we've seen for the first 18, 19 games. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Obviously we're pleased to have the lads back, and as I said, if we can get some consistency in selection, that will help us loads.
Obviously we'll have a chance to speak to you ahead of Saturday's game as well, due to obviously heading up to Hartlepool after. Hartlepool obviously a good team as well, maybe slightly out of position, some might say. What are your thoughts about them and the way they like to play?
Listen, I thought their recruitment was really good in the summer. They signed some excellent players, some top players for the level. Yeah, as you said, they're probably lower than what they would want to be and what they'd expect to be with the group they've got. But to be honest, it looks like they have a bit more fighting spirit now. I know they've had a tough result at York, but I thought they were excellent within the game. A great result against Solihull, so they're showing that fight now and determination that you would normally associate a Hartlepool side with. So it won't be, again, another tough place to go. It's always tough on the road in this division, and Hartlepool seem to be picking up a little bit more than what they were at the start of the season. So credit to them for doing so, and as I said, they've got some excellent players, so it'll be another tough test.
Thanks for your time, Connor.
Cheers, guys.